5, one shutout, and an average of 3.82. Lifetime against Pittsburgh. Most of the decisions with the Islanders, as you might expect. 13 wins against Pittsburgh. Kings and the Penguins from the Igloo in Pittsburgh. And here with the first period, Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. As you join us on radio and TV, the Kings moving from our left to our right, and Jimmy Johnson with it for the Penguins in his own zone. Clears it out to center ice, taken away by the Kings. Steve Duchesne with it now, back in the Kings zone. Moves it up on the left side to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky at left wing. He's got Bernie Nichols and Dave Taylor with him. Here's Gretzky down the right side into the Penguin zone. Pulls up along the right wing board, passes back to the left side. Here's Barry Beck with a shot, tipped wide to the right. Rebound out to the right point. Steve Duchesne with it for the Kings. Puts it high back behind the net. We got a penalty coming up against the Penguins. As now we have a whistle. Well, let's see who it's against as it's blown here within the first minute. And there's no score. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Well, the game's first penalty comes early, slashing at 30 seconds to veteran Phil Bourque, who's been playing left wing the last couple of years. He goes off for taking a hack at Steve Duchesne, and at the whistle, Duchesne was really upset and had to actually be restrained by a member of his own team from retaliating. The slash by Phil Bourque as Duchesne kept the puck inside the blue line. So the Kings will go on the power play here early in the game. Second ranked, 28.3. Penguins penalty killing 20th. But recently the Kings power play has not been effective.
Only 3 of their last 29. Here's Taylor back behind the Penguin net to Nichols. Nichols flipped it high on the glass, knocked it down, tried to bring it in front, still has it, gives it to Gretzky. His drive in front off the stick of the goaltender, Wendell Young. Puck comes off on the right wing side and out to center ice, cleared by Jim Johnson. Kings on the power play. We have not played 1 minute of the first period yet here in Pittsburgh tonight. There's no score in the game. Kings have 1:34 left to go on the power play. Kings moving out of their own zone now. Duchesne moves it up ahead to Nichols at center. Here's Nichols, fires it down into the right corner. Gretzky chases it down, didn't play it off the boards, and it's touched, and they'll bring it back on the icing call against the Kings, as it was touched in deep by the Penguins' Jim Kite.
Well, Wayne Gretzky and the Kings complaining about that icing call. I think Nichols felt he had hit the red line before he dumped it in. Another scoreless game on Sunday. No goals against Pittsburgh in 2 games last season. Missed the game here last year because of the death of his grandmother. And 2 years ago, when he was still in Edmonton, he missed a game here due to injury. So it's been 3 years since the Pittsburgh fans have seen Gretzky play here at the Civic Arena.
I think the Kings are going to win their argument on that icing call, Nick. It was mistakenly blown down, and they're going to face it off in the center face-off circle. So the Kings win that argument, something you don't always do in a hockey game or any other sporting event when you're going to argue with the officials, but they did make the wrong call. Kings with it now. Here is Peter Praser on the power play. He's got Larry Robinson with him. Robinson gives it to Nichols. Nichols, his pass to Praser. Praser left side of Robitaille. Tried to pass in front. Tipped toward the back of the net. Now over to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky with it. Gretzky back to the right side to Larry Robinson. Robinson to the blue line. Robinson left side to Nichols. In front to Robitaille. Save, rebound. Gretzky gets stopped at point blank. Saved by Wendell Young on Wayne Gretzky's chance on the right side. Oh, the Kings had a great opportunity there, and the crowd roaring and applauding that save by Wendell Young.
2 big saves by 26-year-old Wendell Young on 2 excellent snipers. Robitaille, where he's accustomed to scoring, down low. He was off to the right. Save was made. The rebound, Gretzky off to the left, had the whole upper part of the net with Young down, but Young somehow made that save.
Now the Penguins send it all the way back behind the King net with 30 seconds left to go in the King power play. Robinson up to Nichols. Nichols has been on the ice along with Gretzky since the start of the game. Here's a pass off the left side to Gretzky. Didn't play it off the boards. Robitaille with it. Here's Luke Robitaille to Gretzky. Left wing side Penguin zone into Nichols. Nichols waits. Gives it back to Gretzky. Gretzky along the left wing boards. Gretzky still with it on the power play. Gives it to Nichols. Nichols chips it up the middle. Intercepted by the Penguins' Mario Lemieux. Here's Lemieux to center. Here's Lemieux checked by Robinson. Lemieux curls back. Passes back to his own blue line to Dahlquist. And he drives it into the Kings zone. And the Penguins have killed the penalty.
Well, the Kings had 2 great scoring opportunities. Robitaille and Gretzky in succession, but big saves by Young.
Now the Kings with it. McDonough down the left side. Kings have changed on the fly. QB McDonough's pass around the boards out toward the right point. Held in there. Laidlaw holds it in. Sends it down in deep to McDonough. He's knocked down in the corner by Johnson. Puck taken by Gretzky to McDonough. McDonough up the middle in front. Kadelsky can't get a shot. Tipped off his stick. Penguins poke it out to center ice. A bouncing puck that bounced over the stick of John Cullen. And the Penguins have to go back in their own zone to get it. 17 minutes to go in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. No score in the game. Kings had a couple of chances on the power play, but we're scoreless. Puck comes out to the right point. Penguins with it. King zone. It's not held in by Johnson. Now he passes in deep. We got a penalty coming up, and an offside is going to be called also.
Well, the penalty is going to be on Waters for upending Cullen in the corner to the left of Rudy, and both clubs are now upset with each other as they meet in that corner. But Waters was trying to pick up Cullen, number 11 of Pittsburgh. Waters was going to get the first penalty. Will probably get one or more here now.
Mark Recchi, number 8 for Pittsburgh, upset with Waters, but now they're separated. No score in the first period.
Well, the Penguins got an early penalty. Now Waters goes in the penalty box to give the Penguins a power play. Waters was picking up John Cullen, number 11, and he just dumped him in the left corner to the left of Rudy. Waters, number 5 on defense for the Kings, and the referee, Don Koharski, was right there, and Waters complaining about the call. I think Waters felt that something did happen preceding that play. Well, at the other end of the Kings power play, Robitaille, point blank, the save, a sprawling Young, a glove save on Gretzky. If Gretzky, Bob, gets that puck up, it's in the net, but he put it right into the glove of Young, who was sprawling after stopping Robitaille. Penguins, 19th on the power play, 15.1%. Penalty killing, Kings near the bottom at 18, 72+%. And Mario Lemieux, no power play goals. Recchi is in the penalty box for Pittsburgh.
So, yeah, Waters
must have gotten a double minor.
So Waters in the penalty box. His time is up on the clock, 2 minutes. So the power play in effect for Pittsburgh. They've had only 3 of their last 33. No score here in the first period. Boy, what a couple of saves by Wendell Young to keep the Kings off the scoreboard. And we were talking earlier, Nick, I think the Kings, if they could score early and get Pittsburgh doubting themselves again, because they're struggling this season. But Wendell Young came up big early in the game for them. Now the Penguins drive it into the Kings zone. Bork fires it behind the net, taken away there by Kelly Rudy. He clears it himself all the way down into the Penguin zone. 16:23 to go in the first period. No score. Here's Paul Coffey, formerly Gretzky's teammate at Edmonton. Great skater. Ahead now, 3-on-1. Quinn in the middle to Lemieux. Lemieux holds it up the middle to Coffey, and a shot saved by Rudy. Now in the corner, left wing side, here's Lemieux. Lemieux with it again. Big Mario Lemieux, side of the left circle. He waits, passes into Quinn. Quinn back to Lemieux. Here's Lemieux still with it. He feeds it through, intercepted by the Kings in the slot. Here's Larry Robinson. He moves it out to center. Boy, they had a 3-on-1, Nick, and got no movement on it as Lemieux held onto it too long.
No movement and not a good chance. They finally had to settle for Coffey jumping up into the play, but he fanned partially on his shot.
Now Casper hustles back for the Kings, picks it up in the Kings zone, and backhands it in on target. Stop made by Wendell Young. 52 seconds left to go in the Penguin power play. Here's Mario Lemieux across the line. Lemieux to the right side. Lemieux shoots, deflected, save, Rudy. Rebound, tipped into the corner. Picked up by the Kings on the right side. Here's Nichols, up ahead, break for Gretzky. Gretzky cutting in all alone, in front, he shoots, he scores! Gretzky on a breakaway scores to give the Kings a shorthanded goal and a 1-0 lead.
Well, Gretzky's had quite a few breakaways this season early on, and he's been stopped quite a few times, but he buried that one as he digged to the forehand and beat Wendell Young. He knocks down the loose puck at the red line, moves in, shifts to his forehand, and puts it right between the pads of Wendell Young. 7th goal of the season for Wayne Gretzky, his first shorthanded and the 3rd shorthanded goal for the Kings in the Young season. Great move by Gretzky, who took that leadout pass to the red line behind the Penguins.
Nice pass out by Bernie Nichols, who looked immediately to center ice and got it to Wayne Gretzky. So the Kings jump out to a 1-0 lead here with 15:19 to go in the first period. We had Kelly Rudy now being examined by Barry Beck and the referee, and there's something wrong apparently with Kelly's right hand, and play has been stopped here. He went down to make a stop, and play continued as it came up the ice when Nichols passed it to Gretzky, but maybe it's the glove. Apparently, either glove or finger. Now Peter Demers is out, the King trainer, and he's tending to the right hand of Kelly Rudy.
I can't remember a shot where Rudy had to make a glove save. He's only faced a couple of shots. They were both deflections, and the save was made down low, but I don't know, maybe the tape came off that he keeps a couple of his fingers together.
Well, for all of you who've always wondered, what does a trainer do? You're getting a good look at it on our simulcast right now. Peter Demers out there. He's excellent at doing those tape jobs. Normally doesn't have to do them during play.
Or on fingers.
So, Wayne Gretzky. We have commented earlier on the problem he has with breakaways, but you're right there, Nick. He buried that one right between the pads, and now Kelly Rudy is set to go again. Kings up 1-0 on that shorthanded goal. The Penguins still have 34 seconds remaining in their power play.
Well, he had the same type of move last Friday in Winnipeg against young Tom Draper. Had him beat between the pads as he shifted to his forehand, but didn't get all of it. So Gene Ubriaco, whose club has gone winless in their last 5, down here early, 1-0.
He's feeling the heat, and he led them last year to a club record 40 wins. But, you know, it's the old story. What have you done for me lately? And here in Pittsburgh, they haven't done much lately. 21 seconds left to go on the power play for the Penguins. They're back in their own zone. Kings ahead 1-0. Here's Jim Johnson, the center for Pittsburgh. Across the King line, Johnson down the left side. Johnson down in deep, checked by Duchesne. Now behind the net, Kevin Stevens, a former King property, out to the blue line. A shot from there and a glove save by Kelly Rudy. And he hangs on to the shot by Paul Coffey. 1-0 Kings. This is an officially copyrighted broadcast of the Los Angeles Kings Limited and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
Well, they've been on Gene Ubriaco here in Pittsburgh, and of course the Penguins winless in their last 5. Here at home, they're at 500 after 6 games, so they'd like to get it on track here at home. A lot of people feel that they're the team to beat in the Patrick division, coming off last year's excellent showing.
Only 4 seconds remain in the Penguin power play, and they have given up a shorthanded goal on this power play. Kings up 1-0. Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy. Steve Casper on the draw for the Kings, and still they do not drop the puck as yet. And now the face-off with Quinn, and the Kings are going to come up with it, but it skips away from Laidlaw. Now the puck against the left wing boards in the Kings zone. Kings try to clear it, and they do. Casper sends it to center. Kings are back at full strength. Here's Coffey to John Cullen. Cullen couldn't play it. Now it's sent back down into the Penguin zone. Wendell Young, the goaltender, sends it around on the left side to Gord Dineen, but he can't clear it. Dave Taylor took it away. Taylor tried to give it to Nichols. Dineen with it again for the Penguins. Dineen backhands to the blue line, take it away. Gretzky in front alone. He dekes, he shoots, he scores! The Kings intercept a pass at the blue line. They find Gretzky down low behind everybody. He had all night, and he put on a couple of moves and makes it 2-0 Kings.
Well, again, Bernie Nichols spotted him down low. Gretzky waiting to see if the Kings, Taylor and Nichols, could force the turnover, and it happened. Nichols down low, and Gretzky had all kinds of time. This time he just waited and waited. Young was down and out before Gretzky was finished making his first move. The pass, as the Penguins were bunched up inside their blue line, was picked off cleanly and set up to Wayne Gretzky, who again went to his forehand and had the entire net to shoot at. Boy.
He had Wendell Young stretched right flat across the goal down on the ice. Gretzky could have the hat trick already, and we have 14:08 left to go in the first period. It took a great stop by Wendell Young before to keep Gretzky from scoring in the first minute of play. Here's Duchesne. He fires it hard down into the Penguin zone. Kings up 2-0. Here's Robitaille behind the net over skates, taken by Mario Lemieux. Here's Lemieux for the Penguins. His pass off on the right side. Penguins bring it to center now. Here's Coffey. Coffey over to Bob Airy. Airy across the line. Shot stick saved by Kelly Rudy. Rebound left side. Duchesne with it. He clears it out to center ice. 13:42 left to go in the first period. Kings up 2-0 on goals by Wayne Gretzky. Here's Bob Airy. Rolls away from him at the King line and back to get it. John Tonelli. Tonelli checked by Airy. Gets it up on the right side, but now it comes over to Steve Casper. Here's Casper in the King zone. Casper up the center of the red line. Nice move to the blue line. Casper with room. Shoots, and a glove save by Wendell Young. Casper moving to his left side. Now Airy for Pittsburgh. Moves it up ahead to Coffey. Coffey throws it on the right side. Gets it back again. Tried to come down the middle. Broken up by the Kings. Quickly moved by Allison. 2-on-1 for the Kings. Jay Miller with Robitaille. Robitaille with it. In front. He shoots wide. And the rebound. Jay Miller can't jam it in. The goaltender Young is there and the whistle blows.
Well, a 2-on-1 break in the middle of a line change. Robitaille shooting, but firing it wide. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Well, when teams struggle offensively, they look for their big guns, and the Kings have looked to Gretzky twice now here early. Beautiful move on Wendell Young for his second goal in a minute. Shorthanded at 4:41 and even strength. And right before the break, Robitaille and Miller with a 2-on-1. Miller for the front of the net, and kind of a screen, and Robitaille shot one wide to the left, and Miller was cleaned out in front. So the Kings are getting chances from right in front.
Mike Allison out at center, just recalled from New Haven. He played 5 games down there to get back in shape after a groin injury. Now at the blue line, Penguins give it away again. Allison holds it in. Right in the slot, though, but it's taken away by Randy Gillen. He used to be with Winnipeg. He moves it up on the right side. Kings up 2-0. Pass in the Kings zone, broken up by Larry Robinson. Kings have Allison at center with McSorley on the right wing, and over on the left side, Jay Miller. Here's Miller to Preisler, but the Kings go offside of the Penguin line with 12:41 to go here in the first period. 2-0 Kings lead.
Well, big Jay Caulfield is out there for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jay Miller, McSorley for the Kings. I think Caulfield would like to get at Miller right now. Big hit on Miller right at the whistle, and I think Caulfield got the stick up, and that's what Miller's upset about. Jay Miller will take a hit, but Caulfield got the stick up. 6'4", listed at 237 pounds from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's got to be the heaviest player in the National Hockey League at 237 pounds.
You know what they said he did this summer? He pushed vehicles around a parking lot to get in to build up his strength.
Were they in or out of gear? Boy.
Face-off comes outside the blue line of the Penguins. 2-0 Kings. Both goals by Wayne Gretzky, 1 minute apart. 4:41 and 5:41 of the first period. Now in the Penguin zone, right wing corner, Kings with it along the right boards as it's thrown in deep by Duncanson, McDonough, and Kadelsky out for the Kings. For the Penguins, chip it out to center ice. And it comes back down the King line to Waters. Here's Tim Waters with it. His pass up to center ice. Intercepted by the Penguins at their own blue line. We're in the first period. Big crowd on hand in the Civic Arena, but they haven't had much to cheer about yet. It's been all Wayne Gretzky and Bernie Nichols so far. Now to center ice, Kings with it, 3-on-2. Pass to Duncanson, left wing. Duncanson, he centers right side to Kadelsky. Shooting! Saved by Wendell Young. And Young himself clears it back out to center. So Kadelsky, with 8 goals on the year, got stopped by Young, and we have an icing call against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2-0 Kings in the first period. This game coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
2-0 the Kings in front. The forwards really doing a good job getting in the Penguin zone here early, putting on pressure, forcing some turnovers, and that's why the Kings have had so many excellent scoring opportunities. They've had 4 or 5 from right in front, that high percentage area.
Now here's Duchesne to the blue line, Penguin zone, drives it wide of the net to the right side. Bernie Nichols goes for it. Nichols, Gretzky, and Taylor out. Gretzky passed up the middle, intercepted by the Penguins. Phil Bourque sends it back out to center ice now, and it's driven by Andrew McBain into the King zone. King goaltender Kelly Rudy puts it up on the glass. Danny Quinn holds it in for Pittsburgh. He drives it back behind the King net, comes around the left side, and the puck taken now and cleared up on the right side by Duchesne. He took a hit to move it ahead. Here's Taylor. Taylor sends it on the left side to Gretzky. Penguin zone. Gretzky back in front to Taylor. Taylor, left side, his shot blocked, and the Penguins' Phil Bourque moves it to Quinn. Quinn moves it on the right side to McBain with a shot high off the glass. Kings up 2-0 with 11:12 left to go here in the first period. Puck taken by the Kings. They're moving from our left to our right, and here is Taylor to center over to Nichols. Nichols to the Penguin line. He stopped as he came across the line, and the Penguins almost lose it. They do in their own zone, but now back to get it is Dineen, and Dineen chips it out to center for Pittsburgh. Kings with it. Barry Beck over to Duchesne. Duchesne back to Beck at the King blue line. Here's Beck. Moves it up to center ice now and drives it down the right side. Back behind the net. Wendell Young cuts it off for the Penguins. Kings go for a line change. Onto the ice comes Preisler and Robinson back defensively. Up front, coming on is Casper. Penguins send it deep in the King zone. Here's Peter Preisler back to get it. Preisler sends it up to center ice. It's going to be taken by Robitaille. Coffey held up, and Robitaille beat him to the puck. Now in front. Here's Casper. Can't get the pass over to Tonelli. Penguins take it away. Mark Recchi up to center ice now. Gives it on the right wing side to Gillen. Gillen across the line into the King zone. Holds it, goes in deep, sends it back out toward the blue line, and it comes out to center ice. Taken by the Kings. Robitaille to Casper, but a penalty behind the play.
Interference will be the call on the Kings. 2-0 Kings, and we'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. John Tonelli, the veteran left winger, trusts us. He's in the penalty box.
Oh, he's
guarded by the big post there in the middle.
That's his Halloween outfit. He's disguised as a post.
Interference at 4:47. Tonelli and Kevin Stevens going for the front of the net, and Tonelli takes the feet out from underneath Stevens while the Penguins centered the puck. So Pittsburgh on the power play. They had a power play earlier, but gave up the shorthanded goal to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky with both goals, Nichols with both assists here in the first period.
Now Tim Waters for the Kings banks it off the boards into the Penguin zone. Kings trying to kill this penalty. They've scored a short-handed goal tonight. The first goal tonight by Gretzky was short-handed. Penguins with it. Big Mario Lemieux down the left side on the power play. Centers up the middle. Shot saved by Rudy. On the shot by Quinn, right in the slot. Penguins with it again. Lemieux to Coffey of the blue line. Here's Coffey. Right side. Shot by Bourque is knocked away. And to the right side. Now behind the net. Here's Lemieux. His pass knocked down. Tim Waters with it for the Kings. Waters takes his time and clears it the length of the ice. 1:27 left to go in the power play for the Penguins. Here's Paul Coffey with it. Coffey moves up the center. Coffey now to the King line. Comes across the line. Moves to the left point. Coffey sends it in deep. Broken up. Laidlaw's pass off the boards on the right side. It comes right back to him again. He gets away from Dan Quinn. Now chips it up on the right side, but the Penguins hold it in. Lemieux to Quinn behind the net. Quinn lost it there, but cuts it now over to Lemieux on the left side. His pass up the middle, off the stick there of Rob Brown. Kings take it away. Here's Gretzky with Nichols, 2-on-2. They crisscross. Gretzky in the zone. Gretzky left side, didn't have a play. Passes all the way back into the Kings zone. 9 minutes left to go in the first period. 2-0 in favor of the Kings, and 45 seconds left in the Penguin power play. But again, the Kings with it, and again, Gretzky sends it back into the Kings zone to Rudy. Rudy gives it to Larry Robinson. He drops it off to Beck, and Barry Beck drives it out to center ice and over the stick of George Dineen into the Penguin zone. 30 seconds left to go with a man advantage for the Penguins. Kings up 2-0. Penguins come to center ice now. Here's Jim Johnson down the right side. Johnson across the line. Driving in deep. Dropped it off. A shot is wide to the left by Lemieux. And the rebound off the boards all the way back into the Penguin zone.
Well, the Penguins not content really to get the power play set up. They're getting a chance as they go in the zone on a line rush.
Now Cullen down the right side. Larry Robinson over to throw a check. Cullen still with it. Out to the blue line. Right side. Now back to Cullen. Cullen moves it up to the left side to Jimmy Johnson. Johnson to Lemieux. Lemieux on the left side to Johnson. His shot tipped wide. Kings are back at full strength, and Hughie McDonough drives it all the way back into the Penguin zone. This is going to be icing against the Kings. Jim Johnson back to touch it, and we'll be right back. The Kings have a 2-0 lead. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings ice the puck. Jimmy Johnson, defenseman, was going back for the puck, and Wendell Young, the goaltender, kind of snagged him with the butt end of his goal stick, and Johnson went tumbling, but he did touch the puck for the icing.
Face-off back at the other end of the ice to the left of King goaltender Kelly Rudy. Mike Allison out for the Kings, facing off against Randy Gillen. And off the draw, it comes into the right corner of the Kings zone. Troy Loney with it there. He gets tied up, and now Gillen has it against the boards, and he's checked from behind by Allison. And the puck whistle dead there, and tempers flare again. These are two of the least penalized teams in the league, but the tempers are short tonight, Nick.
Well, this time Laidlaw and Troy Loney, number 24. Waters also in there. Waters involved with Recchi and Cullen earlier this period. Mike Allison, the veteran forward, down in New Haven for 5 games, conditioning, 255 career NHL points and almost 500 games. Mike bothered with some nagging injuries since training camp, but the groin injury was the reason why he didn't play earlier this season, and when he was ready, he was sent down for some conditioning. We are going to get, apparently here, a penalty or two as some players continue to argue after the whistle.
Now, Troy Loney's going to go for the Pittsburgh Penguins, number 24. He steps in, and Tim Waters goes back to the penalty box for the second time in the first period for the Kings.
Well, I think this is something the coaches, from the Kings standpoint, don't mind seeing early in a game. The defensemen are getting involved. They're hitting some people. And, you know, it shows emotion. You need that, especially when things aren't going well, to get the Kings going and get a spark going.
Well, they're going to get 10-minute misconducts here. So Waters is going to exit the ice, and I think Loney will also. They're through for this period. We have only 7:56 to go in this first period. Kings come home a week from tomorrow night at the Forum, but we've got all kinds of people dressed up here tonight in their Halloween finery in Civic Arena. Clown with a lariat. Started to tell you the Kings will be home tomorrow night against the Stanley Cup champion Calgary Flames, and there are tickets available in advance. Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. And we'll tell you about season tickets here in just a few moments. Somebody standing by tonight ready to take your call. Off the draw in the Kings zone to the right side. Here is Paul Coffey in the circle from a steep angle. His shot blocked by Casper, taken by Marty McSorley. Both teams are at full strength. Kings have a 2-0 lead. Both goals by Wayne Gretzky. Puck driven all the way down in the Penguin zone, and behind the net it is touched by Coffey, and an icing call against the Kings with 7:40 to go here in the first period, and the Kings up 2-0.
Well, Paul Coffey came over from the Edmonton Oilers a couple of years ago, November of 1987, so it's been almost 2 years. Norris Trophy winner 2 times, a member of 3 Stanley Cup champions with the Edmonton Oilers.
Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy. The Kings have outshot the Penguins 7-5, and they lead 2-0. Goals a minute apart by Wayne Gretzky, with Bernie Nichols assisting on both scoring plays. Here's Rob Brown out on the face-off of the Penguins against Steve Kasper. Kasper wins the draw to Barry Beck. Beck and Duchesne back defensively. Puck is not cleared out, but it bounces over to Duchesne in the King zone. He gets it up to Allison. Allison feeds it over to Hubie McDonough, and he chips it up out of play at center ice. So the Kings will change up now, and they're going to get John Tonelli out with Luc Robitaille.
Well, Tommy Webster has to like what he's seen here in the first period. Some spark by the forwards in the early going, forcing some turnovers, and the Kings up 2-0. Of course, the shorthanded goal can drain the other team, and I think it has. The Pittsburgh Penguins only with 1 good scoring chance.
Webster very critical of the Kings' effort Sunday night in Winnipeg, as well he should have been. They got beat 6-1, and he wanted more of an effort tonight, and so far he's getting it. Kasper up the middle to Duchesne. He got tripped and pulled down. No penalty. Left side, check with a drive from the blue line. Blocked. Here's a 2-on-1 with the Penguins. Brown, right side to Lemieux. He shoots wide to the left side. Mario Lemieux from the top of the right circle, fired wide. 7 minutes left to go in the first period. Penguins with it again. Bob Airey into the King zone to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux peels back and then drops it off to Coffey. Coffey, right side penalty coming up. Puck comes around the boards over to Lemieux. Penalty against the Kings. Here's Lemieux passing down into Rob Brown. Send it through in front. Saved by Rudy as it's knocked down on the try by Dahlquist. And we got a penalty against the Kings. 2-0 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Barry Beck, interference, 13-15, and the Penguins go on the power play for the 3rd time here in the first period. Right side of your screen on the simulcast, in front of the net, Beck 21, just kind of upending Bob Airey of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hit him again. The interference was the call. Airey finally went down on the play. But Pittsburgh, only 1 good scoring chance in their 2 previous power plays. Their power play, as we alluded to earlier, 19th in the league. Last year, a league record 119 power play goals.
Now Cullen on the draw of the Penguins. Left point, King zone. Coffey, top of the slot. Sends it down on the right corner over towards Kevin Stevens. He's checked by Laidlaw. Now it comes to Cullen. Cullen gets it over on the left side to McBain. McBain throws it behind the King net, and a whistle.
Quick whistle.
Boy, I guess so. Koharski, the referee, thought the puck was trapped against the back of the net, and the Penguins upset a little bit over that. Kevin Stevens used to be with the Kings, and he's a pretty good-looking prospect here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, used to be with the Kings organization for about 3 months. He was drafted after his senior year in high school, but then before he started his 4-year collegiate career, was traded for Anders Hawkinson. Remember that name for the Kings in the early 80s? Stevens is a big kid, 6'3", 210 pounds. Out of Boston College.
Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy. Kings up 2-0. Penguins on the power play, trying to get back in the game. Here's Coffey on the right side. Coffey trying to go behind the net, poked away by Laidlaw, can't clear it. Right point held in by Bourque. Now for the Penguins on the right side. Penguins still with it. It's taken by Cullen behind the net. Cullen around the left side. Stick handles, tried to pass up the middle, knocked right back to him. His pass to the blue line, taken by Coffey. Coffey's pass in the slot, now to Stevens. His shot deflected. Off to the right wing boards. Here's Bill Bourque with it. No relation to Ray Bourque of Boston. Now it comes back behind the King net to Cullen. Cullen on the power play. He gets it to Andy McBain. Here's McBain. Left wing side. McBain into Cullen. Mario Lemieux not out on this power play. Up the middle to Coffey. Now to Cullen. Left wing. Cullen waits. Waits in the circle. Pass in deep. Right through in front of the crease. Off into the right corner. Now behind the King net. Here's McSorley. He's checked there. McSorley kicks it into the corner with 54 seconds to go on the power play. Kings get over there in a hurry, and then it's cleared as Laidlaw got to it, and then it was cleared the rest of the way down into the Penguin zone.
Penguins are passing up some opportunities to shoot, trying to make the perfect play, and when you're struggling, you should shoot, create some chances.
Nichols intercepted a pass. Here's Rob Brown for the Penguins to Danny Quinn in the middle. He shoots, and a save by Kelly Rudy off his arm. Right in between the circles, Quinn with a shot. Now behind the net, here's Brown. Pass up the middle, broken up by Gretzky. Now into Lemieux. Lemieux back behind the King net. He waits there. His pass out in front. Loose puck. Who's got it? Phil Bourque. He tipped it off on the right side in front, and a glove stop on the shot by Lemieux. Picked out of midair by Kelly Rudy, and he hangs on for the faceoff.
Well, the Penguins on the power play like to work it down low and try and hit the rushing defenseman in the slot. They love to get a lot of people in front, and that's what they're doing. Finally, a pass by one of the Penguins off to the left of Rudy went off a skate of one of the Kings, and Rudy stayed with it and made the save. Mario Lemieux still looking for his first power play goal this season. He has 5 even strength goals, no shorthanded goals.
Only 5 goals so far this season, 15 goals in 15 games against the Kings, the all-time Penguin leader in points and assists against the Kings. So always someone that's dangerous out on the ice, even though he is struggling this year. 18 points in 11 games this season. A year ago at this time, he had 38 points in 11 games. Face off to the left of Kelly Rudy, and off the draw, Larry Robinson clears it all the way down into the Penguin zone. 10 seconds up to go in the power play for the Penguins. Barry Beck is in the penalty box for the Kings. Kings are up 2-0 with 4:49 to go in the first period. Now to center ice, Penguins with it. Pass on the left side by Johnson to Lemieux. He gets knocked into the net. Johnson did a drive and a glove stop again by Rudy. As Quinn got the shot, and Jim Johnson of the Penguins got knocked right into the King net behind Kelly Rudy.
Well, Johnson was heading for the front of the net, and I don't think he was hit by anybody on the Kings. I think he just turned and lost his edge and went sliding into the net, and a good play by Rudy. Lemieux feeding it across to Quinn. Johnson is already in the net, so he scores, but Quinn doesn't. Dan Quinn with a couple of good chances. That's his third feed from Mario Lemieux on power plays here in the period, but Rudy has come up big. Lifetime against Pittsburgh, 13-9-1, an average of 3.32.
Boy, he's had a quick glove hand tonight, and he played well in the 6-1 loss at Winnipeg. He's the only one that Tom Webster pointed out that had come to play that night. He faced a lot of shots Sunday night in Winnipeg. Didn't get a lot of help. But tonight he's had the quick glove saves for the Kings, and now puck is cleared off the stick of Gretzky out to center ice. Kings are at full strength. 4.5 minutes to go in the first period. 2-0 Kings. Puck taken by Dave Taylor. Taylor's pass deflects right back to Lemieux, and he scores! Well, I mentioned that glove of Rudy, but that one went off his glove into the net. The Kings looked like they had control of it in their own zone. Gretzky's going to argue here, but it came to Lemieux, and he got the shot off the glove of Rudy, and it's 2-1 Kings.
Well, Lemieux scores as he banks it in off the glove of Rudy that's been so effective. I think the Kings are complaining that the Penguins may have been offsides on the play. Either that or the clearing attempt hit the linesman, but they're part of the playing surface. If that's the argument on the scoreboard, they take off the 1 for Pittsburgh. So the goal will not stand. Apparently it's an offsides call. We don't know exactly why it's being disallowed, but the linesman apparently a couple of feet at center ice, and perhaps in coming to Lemieux, it was tipped by one of the Penguins.
So Lemieux may not like it, but the decision stands. That's it. That's the way it is in the face-off after the offside. Comes outside the blue line, and Tom Webster behind the King bench looks at Rick Wilson and says, I think it was the perfect call. 2-0 in favor of the Kings, so it remains 2-0, and the Penguins drive it down into the Kings zone. Well, let's see if this gets the Penguins all riled up. The fans sure are. At the right point, Gord Dineen sends it behind the net to Lemieux. Here's Lemieux in front, and a score! This time it counts. Danny Quinn. Well, it didn't take long for him to get it back.
13 seconds.
Quinn from Lemieux, and the Penguin bench erupts as they're right back in the game, trailing 2-1. Gord Dineen held it into the right point.
Feeds it down low to Lemieux. Quinn heading for the front of the net. A blind pass over to Quinn. He stopped the first time, but the second time he was able to jam it in. Quinn has been by far and away the most dangerous forward from a standpoint of chances here in the period. That just comes from playing with each other as line mates. Lemieux knew exactly where Quinn was going to be, just off to the left of Rudy, and a couple of whacks at it, and he put it in. Dan Quinn, 5th goal of the season from Lemieux, and probably Dineen at 15:47, 13 seconds after the controversial no goal.
So now the crowd alive as the Penguins are trailing 2-1, and the Kings have it back at their own line. Here's Marty McSorley. He's back defensively with Laidlaw. Up ahead now to center ice. Here's Bernie Nichols. Nichols, Penguin zone. Nichols behind the back pass over to Gretzky. Out of his reach. Dineen breaks it up. He can't clear it. Left point held in by Laidlaw. Laidlaw's pass back behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky right side. Feeds it up the middle. Here's Taylor. Taylor to Nichols. Nichols shoots. Save Wendell Young. And he drops on it in the crease. 3:50 to go in the first period. 2-1 Kings.
Well, the Penguins are on the board. The Kings have a 2-1 lead. Gretzky with a couple, Quinn with one. Kings' Bernie Nichols set up at the right circle by Dave Taylor in a screen. Let the shot go. Went right between the legs of Dineen and hit Young in the pads.
3:45 to go in the first period. Puck is in the Penguin zone. Kings with it again. Out to the right point. Here is Gretzky. Feeds it left side. Praisler. His pass down in deep, and it is tipped away from Nichols. He's double teamed, and now the Penguins take it away. Here is Quinn. Boy, he's been dangerous in this period. As Nick said, he's had about 5 shots. Or Cullen, I'm sorry, it was Cullen, number 11, not number 10. And they go offside to the King line. 3:29 to go in the first period. The Kings are up 2-1.
John Cullen coming from a hockey family. His father, Barry, played with Toronto and Detroit. And Uncle Brian with Toronto and the Rangers. And Ray played with Minnesota, Detroit, Vancouver, and the Rangers. So got hockey in his blood. John Cullen, young center iceman for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Face-off outside the King line. Hubie McDonough out at center for the Kings. Puck is driven in, stopped by Kelly Rudy, and taken by McSorley. McSorley reverses the pass off on the right side of the King zone. Kings moving from our left to our right as you join us on our simulcast. Here is McDonough for the Kings. Drives it back behind the Penguin net. Puck comes around the left side to Kevin Stevens. Stevens passes up on the left side now, and here is Jim Johnson at center. Johnson's pass ahead, just out of the reach of Cullen. Into the King zone. Cullen throws a check at Laidlaw, knocks him down. Puck is behind the King net. Cullen with it. Tried to pass out in front, tipped away. Kings will have it. Here's Craig Duncanson on the left wing. Duncanson up to center ice, but out of the reach of McDonough. Broken up there by Johnson. Penguins with it again. Left side, Kings zone. Shot by Stevens, deflected. Marty McSorley deflected it. Kings with it. Kudelski, he gets it at center ice now to McDonough. McDonough from outside the blue line with a shot save made by Wendell Young. 2-1 Kings, 2:39 left to go here in the first period. At center ice, the King, Steve Duchesne, lifts it down into the Penguin zone, and Dan Quinn back to get it. Here's Quinn, checked by Gretzky. Now the puck taken away. Kings with it. Nichols down the middle. Taylor, right side, pulled down. Penguins come back. Here is Phil Bourque, the center. Sends it off on the right side now, and across the line, Andrew McBain. McBain drives it behind the King net. Here's Phil Bourque. Bourque trying to get away, drops it to Quinn. Quinn tries to walk out in front. Quinn on the right side, King zone. Quinn still with it. Back to the side of the circle. Gave it to McBain. He couldn't hang on to it. Kings take it away. Here's Taylor. Up to Gretzky. Gretzky to the Penguin line. Gretzky's pass down the middle. Taylor can't get to it. Penguins clear at the center and back into the King zone. 2 minutes left to go in the first period. 2-1 Kings lead. Puck is back behind the King net. Barry Beck, his pass taken by Duchesne. He clears it up to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky with Taylor at center ice. Gretzky at the red line. Gretzky, Penguin zone. Pulls across the blue line. Feeds it left side to Nichols. Nichols diving in front. He shoots. Save Wendell Young. Rebound taken by Chris Dahlquist. Taken away by Gretzky. Gretzky feeds it to Taylor. Taylor back to Gretzky. In front to Nichols. Can't get the shot. It comes out to Lemieux, who's lost his stick. He makes a hand pass, and Coffey plays it. Now Coffey comes up across the blue line. His pass over on the left side. Lemieux's got his stick again. 1:24 to go in the first period. 2-1 Kings. Duchesne to Praisler. Now to Nichols. Nichols in the King zone. Moves it up to center ice to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky with Robitaille. Gretzky across the Penguin line. His pass to Nichols down the middle. In front alone. Nichols goes to the right. Hangs on. In too deep. Goes behind the net. Now to Praisler. Backhander. Tipped wide. Rebound taken by the Penguins' Gord Dineen. He gets it to Jim Johnson. 1 minute to go. First period. Kings hold it in. Nichols to Praisler in the slot. His pass over to Gretzky. Gretzky, right side. He's pulled down. No penalty. Penguins come back. 2-1. Kings lead it. Pass to center ice. Deflects off the skate of Lemieux into the King zone. 45 seconds to go in the first period. Here is Larry Robinson for the Kings. Moves it up to Robitaille on the left side. Robitaille. He gets it to the red line now to Robinson. Robinson over the left side. Now back it goes to Robitaille. Robitaille in the slot. Penguin zone. Right side to Tonelli. He scores! John Tonelli from the right wing on an assist from Robitaille. And the Kings lead 3-1. John Tonelli, just stationed off on the right side in the circle, took a nice pass from Robitaille and fired right off the pass into the Penguin net. Young appeared to get over there in time. Robitaille came across the line and then moved it down on the right, pulled up, gave it to Tonelli, and Tonelli put it in the far left corner, and the Kings lead 3-1. Robinson also with an assist, so Robinson with an assist on that, and that's a milestone assist for him. We'll bring you up to date on that in a second. Puck comes all the way down into the Kings zone. 23 seconds remaining here in the first period. Here's Coffey back out to center. Coffey's pass for the Penguins with 18 seconds left to go in the period. He sends it down in deep behind the King net. Taken now by McSorley. Here's Marty McSorley up to center ice. Kings up 3-1. Casper to Robitaille. Robitaille, Penguin zone. His pass off to the left point to Laidlaw. 3 seconds to go in the period. Laidlaw sends it behind the net, out of the reach of Casper, and that does it for the first period. So the Penguins got back in the game for a while, but John Tonelli gave the Kings a 2-goal lead once again as Wendell Young and the Penguins skate off. Larry Robinson with an assist on that last King goal has tied Brad Park for third in NHL all-time points by a defenseman with 896 points. In the first period, Wayne Gretzky got his 7th of the year, a shorthanded goal assisted by Bernie Nichols at 4:41. 1 minute later, Gretzky again, 2nd of the game, 8th of the season, again from Nichols at 5:41. Then Dan Quinn for Pittsburgh, his 5th of the year.
Still 4th on the all-time defenseman scoring list.
Second period underway as the puck driven down into the King zone. And now, look out, we've got Dave Taylor into a little bit of an argument with Phil Bourque out in the neutral zone, and the whistle blows, and we're going to get penalties here for roughing. Bourque, number 29, will go into the penalty box for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Dave Taylor will go in for the Kings.
Well, again, Larry Robinson, we thought he had an assist, but they took it away, gave it to Casper. Still 1 point behind Brad Park, who is in 3rd in the all-time defenseman scoring list. Potvin, number 1, 1,052 points. Then Bobby Orr, Park, and Larry Robinson. We're going to get penalties here. 7 seconds in. Dave Taylor in the box. Tim Waters still in there for the Kings, serving his misconduct, which was handed out midway through the first period. Right off the draw, they got the sticks up. The draw at center ice, Bourque and Taylor, and they're both going to get 2 minutes for roughing.
Ready on the face-off in the King zone. The puck, Dan Quinn against Casper on the draw, and Casper gets it over to Steve Duchesne. Duchesne up to center to John Tonelli. Tonelli fires it into the Penguin zone. Kings are moving from our right to our left here in the second period. Casper with it, down in deep to Tonelli. He's checked there. Dahlquist, just recalled from the minors in Muskegon, sends it around the boards over to Bob Airy. Airy for the Penguins, chips it out to center ice, taken away by Duchesne to John Tonelli. Tonelli to Casper, his return pass broken up and then overskated by Tonelli, and the Penguins, Mario Lemieux to center ice, taken away. Kings with it. Tonelli to Casper to Robitaille, but he just goes offside at the blue line of Pittsburgh, and the fans cheer that call now. Fans upset over that goal that was disallowed, although like Nick said, the Penguins got it right back again 13 seconds later, but now they're going to be on the linesman all night long. Tonelli goes over to sit down on the bench along with Luc Robitaille. Kings up 3-1. We have just started the second period.
Kings forwards doing a good job, and they have been throughout the course of this game at getting into the zone and driving for the front of the net, and that's opened up some ice for guys like Gretzky and Nichols and the defensemen to jump up into the play.
Nichols out at center as Gretzky's over on the left side, and on the right side is Bob Kudelski now, replacing, of course, Dave Taylor, who's in the penalty box. Puck taken now by the Kings. Larry Robinson over to Peter Praisler. Praisler in the King zone against the left wing boards. Kings up 3-1. Here's Praisler. He got knocked down. Penalty to Pittsburgh. Lemieux with it all alone, but penalty had been called. Praisler got pulled down, and we're going to have a power play for the Kings. 3-1 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Dan Quinn gets a penalty for hooking Peter Praisler at the 1 minute mark here in the second period. Praisler for the Kings carrying the puck up the middle, just hooked from behind, and the turnover, and the puck was picked up by Lemieux, but they whistled it down right away. Koharski making the call. Kings tonight 0 for 1 in the power play. Penguins 0 for 3.
So the Kings, 3 of their last 30 on the power play now. As the puck is driven down into the King zone. Kings back to get it. Here's Praisler. He and Duchesne are back at the blue line. Praisler sends it back over. Here's some aggressive forechecking by the Penguins. They're going to take it away as Andrew McBain brings it out to center ice. McBain for Pittsburgh. He lost it to Praisler. Praisler chips it to Nichols. Nichols across the line. Gives it to Gretzky on the right side. Penguin zone. Gretzky in front to Robitaille. Couldn't get a shot. Up the middle. Praisler. Wait. Shoots. Deflected wide. Out to the right side to Duchesne. Here's Duchesne Top of the slot, moves it over to Fraser. Fraser gives it down the left side to Bernie Nichols on the power play. Now up the middle to Fraser. Fraser shoots, score! As it was tipped in by Gretzky coming down the right side for the hat trick, his third goal of the game. Fraser fired and Gretzky tipped it in, and the Kings lead 4-1.
Nice play by Peter Praisler out there, getting ice time on the power play. Wayne Gretzky with the hat trick, and it comes here early in the second period. Nichols to Praisler, who just winds and shoots along the ice, and Gretzky snuck in from the right circle, just redirected it past Wendell Young, who had no chance on it. Praisler down low, and Gretzky with the deflection. Beautiful play by the Kings as they score on the power play. Praisler and Nichols the assist.
Nichols with his third assist of the game. Gretzky with his third goal. Now the Penguins. Here's Rob Brown across the King line. Penguins back at full strength. Brown stops, top of the right circle. Gets a shot, knocked down. Kings with it. Here's Marty McSorley, a former Penguin. He moves it up to center ice to Bob Kudelski on the right wing, and he drives it hard around the boards. Left side Penguin zone. Here's Duncanson. Throws it in front. It's tipped wide by Kudelski. Taken away by the Penguins. Here's Cullen. Cullen's pass tipped away. Still in the Penguin zone. Coffey back to get it. Kings are up 4-1 now early in the second period. Pass out to Rob Brown. Brown to Cullen. Cullen to center for Pittsburgh. Now to the King line. Cullen left side. Tries the backhander. Save Rudy. And he sweeps it while sliding on his back against the boards on the right side. Now the puck cleared out to center. Rudy made the save and then swept it away with his arm up against the boards. Puck driven by the Penguins back down into the King zone. Chased around the boards by Laidlaw, and an icing call against Pittsburgh here. 4-1 Kings.
Kings have made it 4-1 with the power play goal. The Penguins coming back with a chance themselves. Cullen with a backhander down low. Didn't get much on it. Couldn't get it off the ice. Rudy made the save. And as he's spinning around in 360 fashion, that's a tough move. Gretzky, he's been the story for the Kings. He's gotten the offense going with his 46th career hat trick. Gretzky from Praisler and Nichols here at 1:40 of the second. He had the first two goals of the night. 4-1 Kings.
Face off to the right of the goaltender Wendell Young. Of course, the fans at Pittsburgh wanted to see Lemieux as the most valuable player in the league last year. Shot from the blue line by Beck and a save by Young. Puck taken by the Penguins. But Gretzky has certainly silenced those fans here tonight. And now the Penguins offside of the King line. 17-14 to go here in the second period. John Tonelli's got a King goal tonight.
Well, John Tonelli, the old war horse, 733 points, 845 NHL games. The Islanders, a couple of years in Calgary, and now with the Kings for his second season. 32 goals last year, one of his better goal-scoring seasons in his long and successful NHL career. Last year, first year as a King.
Gretzky with 3 goals tonight could easily have 4. It was a great save by Wendell Young early in the game that turned him away. So we've got a lot of hockey left to go. 17 minutes to go in the second, and Gretzky already with 3 goals. This could be a big, big night for him here tonight.
He has a shorthanded goal, a power play goal, and an even strength goal.
That's hitting for the cycle if you were a baseball player, I guess so. Here is Duchesne moving it up toward the blue line. Kings come to center now, working on a 3-on-2. Here's Tonelli, left wing. Tonelli drops it back to Beck, and he hit the goalpost. Rebound, score! Beck hit the goalpost, and the rebound came right to Steve Kasper, and he makes it 5-1 Kings.
Barry Beck jumping up into the play, hitting the post, and Kasper just was right there. Johnny on the spot, the forwards jumping up, making things happen tonight, and Kasper puts in the rebound of the post. Tonelli dropping it to Barry Beck. Beck unloads, hits that post to the left of Young, then Kasper with the rebound puts it in. Nobody picked up Kasper, and the Kings are up 5-1. Another look on the simulcast. Beck just unloading, hitting the post, and nobody. There are Penguins all around, but they're just not picking up the Kings. And that's where the Kings are getting most of their chances tonight, Bob, because they're driving from the front of the net, but the Penguins just aren't paying attention.
Beck and Tonelli with the assists on that goal, but the Penguins slow getting back. Kings had all kinds of room when Beck wound up and shot, and the Penguins winless in their last 5, 0-4-1, and trailing tonight 5-1 here at home. Now at center ice, Kings take it away again. Laidlaw sends it to the Penguin line, broken up by Coffey. His pass knocked down at center ice by Mike Allison for the Kings. Here's Allison, left side to Waters. Waters shoots. Pad save by Wendell Young. Now the puck comes around to the blue line and out to center ice. Sent out there by Gord Dineen. Kings with it again. 16 minutes to go in the second period. Kings are up 5-1. Here is McSorley. Throws it off the board from the left side, out of the reach of Allison. Played now by Pittsburgh. Here is Mark Recchi, the center ice. He's a good-looking rookie for them. He gives it to Troy Loney. Back to Recchi. Recchi sends it down the middle to Gordon Dineen. In front, he shoots. Tipped up over the net by Rudy. Rebound behind the net to Recchi. He gets checked there. Kings almost have it. Recchi takes it away. Sends it right in front off the skate of Laidlaw. Right in the crease off Laidlaw's skate. Puck goes into the left wing corner of the King zone and is frozen there. And the Kings maintain that 5-1 lead as tempers flare between Laidlaw and Loney, and we'll be right back.
Fight, Mark. Well, we have some fisticuffs that have developed. I think it's Caulfield and Jay Miller, the main event. They weren't involved to start, but they finally paired off. And the two heavyweights are going to go at it. We mentioned Caulfield's size, 6'4", 237. So he's a little taller and a little heavier than Jay Miller.
Jay Miller's had his helmet knocked off. It's more of a wrestling match now. Miller drags Caulfield down to the ice. Caulfield gets right back up again. They got one another's arms tied up, and then a pretty good right to the side of the head by Jay Miller. And now another right and another right and another one by Jay Miller. So now they're going to come in and break him up. So it started out more of a wrestling match, and then it looked as if Jay Miller of the Kings got a few right hands in. No damage done, I don't believe.
And
again, of course, I'm not down there getting hit.
Again, they weren't the two that really started it all. Before we broke away for that spot, it was Laidlaw and Loney. They were pushing and shoving, and I think Laidlaw was going to get the first penalty, maybe the only penalty. And then as players kept congregating, Caulfield and Miller squared off.
Sitting here with some guy with a bag on his head. I don't know if he had that on before the game or he's put it on now, but the Penguins are down 5-1. Kings, Jay Miller sitting down in the penalty box behind Tom Laidlaw, and Laidlaw was getting the original penalty before the fisticuffs broke out. So Laidlaw going to get the only penalty out of that original altercation. I believe if Caulfield goes over, he'll get the fighting major along with Jay Miller.
And Laidlaw kept poking his left hand in the face of Troy Loney. Loney kept backing off, and finally Koharski called the penalty. Gord Dineen in cold, not known for his offensive skills, but pretty good shot. Glove save by Kelly Rudy, who's shown a very quick glove hand here tonight. Kelly Rudy, he started opening night, Bob, with a win, and he has alternated winning and losing ever since. And tonight, he's due for a W. 5-5 in the young season.
Well, he's well on his way to that. 15:33 to go in the second, and the Kings have a 4-goal lead at 5-1. Penguins are going to go on the power play here, and they need to get something going.
Well, Dan Quinn's been really the only player to get any offense going on the power play with help from Lemieux. Laidlaw roughing 4:27, so Pittsburgh with power play number 4. In the penalty box is big Jay Caulfield as he rests up after his bout with Jay Miller.
Pittsburgh, 3 of their last 36 with a man advantage. And this is normally a high-scoring team, and they're just having a terrible time on the power play. Kings send it all the way down to the Penguin zone. Now the Penguins moving from our left to our right. Here's Phil Bourque. Moves it up to center ice to Quinn. Dan Quinn snaps it into the Kings zone. Puck comes around to Larry Robinson. Robinson, his pass to Casper. Nice move back to the right side to McDonough. Here's McDonough to center against Coffey. McDonough tried to feed it to Casper coming down the middle, but it was out of his reach. Kings still have it now out at center ice. Here's Hubie McDonough. He sends it back into the King zone, and Larry Robinson back to get it. Robinson and Waters are back. Robinson can't clear it. Rob Brown holds it in. Brown's pass taken away by Robinson. Robinson again can't clear it. Held in by Bourque for Pittsburgh into Quinn. Quinn along the right wing boards. Feeds it to Bourque at the blue line. He sends it off on the left side. Penguins fall Coffey with it now. Now to Bourque. His pass down and deep. Broken up by Larry Robinson. He moves it up ahead. Here's Casper to center for the Kings. Casper will take his time. Kings going to change penalty killers. Gretzky jumps on. Here's a pass to Gretzky. Gretzky right side. Chops it away from Coffey. Gives it back to Casper at the left point. Casper sends it down in deep in the Penguin zone with 56 seconds left to go in the power play for Pittsburgh.
The only difference between the Penguins' power play here and last year is that they don't have Zarley Zalapski. He'd be out there on one of the points with Coffey. They have Bourque out there instead.
Now here's Coffey coming in deep. He shoots up over the net, off the glass, taken by Mario Lemieux. Lemieux to Coffey. Coffey, top of the slot. His shot, save. Rebound goes over to Lemieux. Lemieux on the left side. Lemieux still with it in the circle. He's got that long reach. He gives it to Coffey. Coffey back to Lemieux. Left side. Lemieux in front to Bourque. His shot knocked down. In front, score, Kevin Stevens. Lemieux gave it to Kevin Stevens on the left side of the net. It's a power play goal. Kings now lead 5-2.
Well, again, the Penguins on the power play, obviously looking for Lemieux to be the quarterback, and he moved down low at the base of the left circle, and Stevens just used his size to set up in front. Lemieux drifting down low. First he tried to set up Bourque, but the shot was deflected wide, and then Stevens just chipped in the centering pass from Mario Lemieux. Another angle on the simulcast. Lemieux across, shot deflected by Bourque behind the net, but Stevens getting good position on Duchesne and is able to lean into the shot and beat Rudy, who was down and out.
Lemieux and Bourque with the assists on it. Puck is in the King zone now. Kings are at full strength. Here's Bernie Nichols, 3 assists tonight. Nichols comes to the Penguin line, sends it down in deep. Peter Praisler jumping in, but then comes back to his defensive position. Penguins back to get it. 13:43 to go in the second. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Puck comes all the way down into the King zone. Kings are up 5-2. Puck sent around to Gretzky, taken away low, in deep now. Pass on the right side to Cullen, walking in. Goes behind the net. Cullen still with it. His pass broken up, but we have a penalty here.
Yeah, cross-checking in front as the Penguins swarm the front of the net. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Larry Robinson goes off for cross-checking at 6:31, top left corner on the simulcast. Robinson, number 19 of the Kings, right there, cross-checking one of the Penguins right in front. And we had the delayed call, and on the turnover, the whistle was blown.
Penguins trying to make a comeback here. They've got the power play. Here's Coffey at the right point. He shoots, and it's deflected up into the crowd. The save by Kelly. Rudy off his stick and up out of play.
Well, we were talking about the Penguins' power play unit. Paul Coffey on the right point. They would usually have Zarley Zalapski, but he's out with a broken collarbone. Coffey had lots of time to just tee it up. No traffic in front, really. Rudy got a good look at it and just deflected it, and it went into the crowd.
Face off to the left of Kelly. Rudy. Paul Coffey holds the NHL record for most goals by a defenseman in a season. He had 48 in 85-86. Puck is along the right wing boards. Here's Rob Brown for the Penguins. His pass tipped up in the air and caught by Rudy. They were trying to get it over to Lemieux, and they had a 2-on-1 down low, and Rudy broke it up.
Well, with Coffey on the point and the option of working it down low like they usually do, they can have a deadly power play. They proved it last year. They're just not getting it in sync this year. But Rob Brown trying to send it across to Lemieux, who was all alone. Laidlaw deflected it in the air. Rudy stayed right with it and made the save as Waters cleaned out Rob Brown.
Face off in the King zone again. Penguins on the power play. They're down 5-2. Here's Hubie McDonough for the Kings. He had trouble trying to chip it out. Now gets help, but the Penguins hold it in. Here's Quinn in the corner. Checked by Laidlaw. Quinn still with it. Out to the blue line. Penguins move it around over to Lemieux. Here's Lemieux on the left side. Lemieux still with it in the circle. His pass is deflected. He tried to move it to Coffey at the right point, and it was tipped by Hubie McDonough back down into the Penguin zone. Kings have Casper and McDonough up front to kill the penalty. Now Rob Brown, left side, Kings zone. Waters over in a hurry, tips it away from him. Nice play. Waters in the corner. He's checked from behind by Brown. Now it comes to Quinn behind the King net. His pass, Waters breaks it up but can't clear it. Phil Bourque at the blue line, left point to the right point to Coffey. Power play has a minute left on it. Penguins with it on the right side, trying to pull it within 2. Quinn to Bourque to Lemieux. Lemieux on the left side. Lemieux, top of the left circle. He waits. He gives it into Brown. Brown, pass in front, broken up by Laidlaw. Back to Lemieux. Lemieux to the blue line. Hangs onto it down the left side. 45 seconds to go, the man advantage. To Bourque, to Lemieux. Lemieux, left side. Lemieux still with it. To Bourque, back to Lemieux. Lemieux to Coffey. Shooting, blocked by the Kings and not cleared. It was blocked, but they couldn't clear it out. It was blocked by McDonough. Now it comes over to Lemieux. Lemieux, left side, tried to walk in front of the net. Loose puck. Who's got it? Kings do. Here's Casper, poking it to the blue line, but not out. Nice play by Coffey to hold it in. Into Lemieux. Lemieux to Rob Brown. Brown on the right side with 15 seconds in the power play. Brown gives it to Coffey. Now to Rob Brown, moving in front. Brown lost it there. Now up the middle, Coffey shoots wide, rebound, Lemieux. Lemieux behind the net. Lemieux still with it. Tried to roll it out in front. It bounces over to Casper. He's going to clear it. Casper clears it to center. Kings are back at full strength. Casper shoots from the blue line and a save by Wendell Young. And it went off him wide of the net to the left side. Kings still lead 5-2 and they're back at full strength. But it was close on a couple of occasions as the Kings had trouble clearing it out. Now we have an offside Pittsburgh at the King blue line. 11:17 to go in the second period. Kings lead 5-2, and this game is coming to you from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Playing away again. Kings come to center. They've got a 3-on-1. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky left side, walking in over to Nichols, tipped and wide to the right side. It was Taylor, Gretzky, and Nichols, but Gretzky's pass was deflected, and the Kings couldn't control it. Penguins clear it back to center. 10:55 to go in the second period. Kings are up 5-2 over the Penguins. Kings have lost 3 of their last 4. They're trying to get things going. That pass ahead to Taylor down the middle in front. Taylor shoots, save, Wendell Young. Taylor came down the right side. He got checked from behind. Young made the save. Now Nichols to Taylor, right side. Taylor can't get a shot. It's tipped to Gretzky. Spin, shoots. Now in front, Nichols score! Gretzky took a drive that deflected to Bernie Nichols, standing in front of the net, and he scores. And the Kings lead 6-2.
And again, the Penguins just allowing the Kings to stand around in front. The big difference, a big difference in this game is the Kings are cleaning out the Penguins in front for the most part, or at least trying to. The Kings had chance after chance at this bouncing puck, and finally Nichols all alone just chips it in. Nichols, Taylor, and Gretzky down low, and nobody picked them up. So the Kings are up 6-2. A reverse angle look at the goal. Gretzky turning, he fires. It's deflected. It's knocked down in front, and Bernie Nichols waits for Wendell Young to go down like he's done so often tonight.
I guess so.
And Nichols just puts it in up high.
Wendell Young has been flopping down in front of that net all night long, and the Kings are just patient in front of the net and then just flip it up over him. Now an offside called with 10:28 to go in the second period. We're not halfway through the game. Gretzky has 4 points, 3 goals and an assist. Nichols 4 points, a goal and 3 assists. Not a bad line, Nick.
Yeah. Again, Gretzky with Nichols and Taylor put together tonight by Coach Tom Webster. The Kings scoring only 4 goals in the last 3 games. Well, Larry Robinson has now tied Brad Park for third in the NHL all-time defenseman scoring list with 896.
They took it. It's got to be Taylor's assist, not Robinson on that play. It's Nichols from Gretzky and Taylor. Well, Larry's going to get that sometime.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be tonight or not. Now back in the King zone. Here's Peter Praisler with it. Praisler to Robinson. Taylor is the one that had it on the right side of the net. He got it to Gretzky, and then Gretzky got it over to Nichols, and Nichols scores. Kings are up 6-2 over the Penguins with 9:55 to go in the second period. Across the Penguin line, here's Mike Allison to the right side. Allison sends it around the boards off on the left side toward Peter Praisler. Praisler chips it down in deep, but back to get it. Pittsburgh Penguins send it behind the net. Randy Gillen's pass. Now it comes back over to Bob Airy. Airy on the right side. He just chips it out to center ice, and Praisler, who's back defensively with Robinson, goes back to get it. Praisler sends it off on the right side to center ice. Nichols had to let it go. It would have been a 2-line pass, and the Penguins have it back in their own zone. 6-2 Kings. Big night for Gretzky and Nichols. Here's Phil Bourque at center ice for the Penguins. Bourque sends it back into his own zone. And you get a full house like this. The fans are upset. They're all over the Penguins. And now the Kings with it. Left side, here's Robitaille. Robitaille cut off in the Penguin zone. Back toward the blue line. Drops it off now to Casper. Casper sends it in on the left wing corner. Taken there by John Tonelli. Tonelli, he gets it into Robitaille. Robitaille in the corner. He's checked there. Tonelli still battles for it along the boards. He's pushed from behind. He comes out with a puck. He gives it now to Casper. Casper left side. Casper with a nice move on Bourque. Then fanned on his pass. Back behind the net, Wendell Young, the goaltender, sweeps it around to Dan Quinn. Quinn clears it out to center. It comes off on the right side to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux, King zone, in deep, he shoots, and a save by Kelly Rudy. Puck comes into the right wing corner, taken by Quinn. Quinn trying to give it over to Lemieux. Lemieux with it, left side. Lemieux checked by Waters. Lemieux spinning, trying to get away from Waters, and we're going to get a penalty here. Waters got his stick up high. Lemieux was bent over for the high sticking penalty, going to be called against Waters. And Tim Waters is upset.
Tim Waters, 2 minutes for high sticking at 11:31. So the Penguins go on the power play for the 6th time. Lemieux spinning on Waters, and right there the blade of the stick kind of clipped Lemieux on the chin. Lemieux not hurt. But Bob, I was surprised that nobody really came over and kind of bumped or shoved Waters after they did that to Lemieux.
Now the Kings move it out to center ice with 8:24 left to go in the second period. Chasing it down. Here's McDonough, but he's double teamed and taken out of the play. Good hustle by Hubie McDonough. The King rookie took 2 Penguins to take him out of the play. Now the Pens with it. On the left side, a pass from Lemieux to Cullen. Cullen, left side, into Mario Lemieux, behind the King net. Lemieux with it. He's checked along the boards by Robinson. Gets it back over to Cullen. Cullen, left side. They got Kevin Stevens in front. Pass goes behind the net. Lemieux in front. Cullen shoots, save. Rudy, rebound. Is knocked away again as Stevens had a shot right in close. Now to the blue line, here's Coffey. His drive wide to the left. Rebound to Cullen. Penguins on the power play, trailing 6-2. Pass up the middle. Penguins with it off to Coffey on the right side. Coffey gives it to Johnson. Back to Coffey at the right point. He shovels it in deep. Larry Robinson took it away, and he cleared it along the boards, but Coffey holds it in. Now it's cleared out to center ice and back down into the Penguin zone by McDonough. Penguins back to get it. Jim Johnson with it. 1 minute left to go in the power play. Up ahead to Randy Gillen. Gillen fires it into the Kings zone. Rebound comes around to Cullen. Here's Cullen. He sends it behind the net, taken away by Duchesne to the Kings, and he sends it all the way back into the Penguin zone, and the fans booing the Penguins again. Now the Pens give it away. Wendell Young pass taken away by the Kings. Nichols in front to Duchesne. He chopped it up high. Boy, the Penguins listless at times in their own zone here tonight. Now on the left side, Penguins bring it into the Kings zone. It's back behind the net, poked there by Beck. Beck tried to get it to Nichols, taken away by Quinn. Quinn pass on the left side. Penguins with it. Here's Quinn shooting, glove save by Rudy. He picked that one out of midair and he hangs on.
Well, Danny Quinn's talking to himself. He's had about 6 or 7 good chances, a lot of them on the power play for Pittsburgh tonight, but Kelly Rudy with that quick glove hand, we've mentioned it time and time again. Another stop on number 10, Dan Quinn of the Pittsburgh Penguins, as the power play winds down. They set up Quinn in the slot. The puck is just deflected. Quinn, number 10, is going to one-time it. And Kelly Rudy, watching it all the way, just reaches out with a left arm with Lemieux off to his left.
Face off in the Kings zone to the left of Kelly Rudy. He's enjoying a 4-goal lead tonight at 6-2. Kings are up with 6:46 to go in the second period. And off the draw now, Kings with it. Here's Larry Robinson. He fights his way behind the net. He's checked there by Bob Airy. Puck comes around on the boards. Gordon Nhl holds it in. Now in front to Airy. His shot wide to the right. He had to stop it with his skate. Then by the time he could shoot, he shot it wide to the right. Remember, the Kings at Boston Thursday night on Prime Ticket at 7:30 and on KLAC and the Kings Radio Network at 6 p.m. from the Boston Garden Thursday night. Now the Kings, Gretzky with it at the blue line of Pittsburgh. Came across the line, now to Taylor. Left side, he shoots. It's blocked. Blocked by Dahlquist of Pittsburgh, and back come the Penguins. Here's Randy Gillen. Gillen to center, across the King line, centered it in deep on the right side. Penguins with it. Here's McBain. McBain in the circle. McBain to the blue line. Gives it to Gord Dineen. Right point. His shot tipped and a save by Kelly Rudy. 6 minutes exactly to go in the second period. Rudy hangs on for the face-off. The Kings are up 6-2.
Well, Kelly Rudy played well last Friday in Winnipeg. He played well despite giving up 6 goals at Winnipeg Sunday. Didn't get a lot of help, and he seems to be in a bit of a groove right now. He's very sharp, very alert. He's looking at that puck, following it. That was deflected right in front. Andrew McBain dropping it back on the point.
Gretzky with a big night so far. 3 goals, his 46th career hat trick. 1 assist. Nichols, as we said, also with 4 points tonight. A goal and 3 assists, and the Kings have a 6-2 lead over Pittsburgh. Faceoff will be in the Kings zone again to the left of Kelly Rudy. Kings are home at the Great Western Forum a week from tomorrow night. Calgary Flames will be there, and there are tickets available in advance at the Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Face-off in the Kings zone. And on the draw, Mike Allison for the Kings, but the Penguins send it out to the right point. Taken there by Gilbert Delorme. He wraps it hard around on the right side. Kings have it. Back they come to center ice. Here is McSorley down the left side in the Penguin zone. Shooting and a save by Wendell Young. Rebound to Gilbert Delorme. Delorme sends it around to the blue line and out to center ice. Barry Beck back to get it. Beck sends it off on the right side. Duchesne sends it in and gets away from a check by Caulfield at center ice. Puck taken by the Penguins and driven off the boards out to center ice and on the right wing. Here is Caulfield. He sends it down into the King zone and Barry Beck back to get it. He gets it up to Marty McSorley on the right wing. Here's McSorley. He sends it ahead now, and Allison at the blue line of Pittsburgh brings it back to center. He's trying to take it away from Lemieux, who got back, but Kings cover up in a hurry. Now Barry Beck with it. Beck moves it up to center ice. Beck without the helmet. Drives it back behind the Penguin net. Comes around on the left side now and is cleared. up to center ice, but a whistle and an offside called. Now the puck back in the Penguin zone here in the second period here with the Kings up 6-2. 4:55 to go in the period. Penguins moving from our left to our right. Dahlquist drives into the Kings zone. It's chipped out by the Kings' Luke Robitaille back into the Penguin zone. Kings have Casper, Robitaille, and Tonelli up front now. Waters is back with Laidlaw defensively. Puck taken and cleared out to center ice to Lemieux on the right wing. Here's Lemieux into the Kings zone. Lemieux into the slot, swept away by John Tonelli, and Lemieux taken out of the play. A penalty coming up.
Who are they going to get?
Well, are they going to get the Penguins? Because they had control of the puck, and Lemieux was on the back of who? Waters?
Yeah, Tim Waters, who's been a factor tonight in that he's gotten involved physically. Waters, a good play to step in front of Lemieux, and Lemieux lost the puck and then just, I don't know if he grabbed a hold from behind and dumped Waters, but another good play by the Kings on Mario Lemieux. Lemieux, 2 assists tonight, and Lemieux is going to go to the penalty box. So he must have grabbed a hold of Waters and dumped him to the ice after Waters stepped in front.
So, big Mario Lemieux goes over to sit down.
Lemieux had the puck. It was deflected over on the left side, and then Waters stepped in front, and I don't know, I guess he kind of rode him to the ice, and
they called roughing?
Roughing?
Riding. 2 minutes for riding to Mario Lemieux. So the Kings go on the power play with 4:34 to go in the second period. The Kings have a 6-2 lead over the Penguins. And the faceoff will be outside the King blue line. Kings have Bernie Nichols out. Gretzky's off on his right. Robitaille on his left. And off the draw, the Penguins' Randy Gillen brings it into the Kings zone, but Nichols takes it away. Kings have Duchesne and Fraser back at the blue lines now. Pass up on the left side. Here is Nichols across the line. Nichols still with it. Left side. Nichols waits. Passes right off on the right side to Gretzky. Gretzky with 3 goals tonight. Gretzky still with it up the middle to Duchesne. Here's Duchesne. Back over to Gretzky on the right side. Gretzky waits. Top of the circle. Back to Duchesne. Back to Gretzky. Right side. Gretzky still waits. Moves toward the slot. Sends it down in deep to Robitaille. And Nichols, he scores! Bang, bang play in front. And Bernie Nichols gets his second straight and 10th of the year on the power play for the Kings, and the Kings now lead 7-2.
Well, again, the Kings allowed to just move the puck around inside the Pittsburgh blue line. Very little physical contact by the Penguins in their own zone. They drift up high because Gretzky and Duchesne were playing catch with it. That opened up a 2-on-1 down low, and Nichols just finished it off with Luke Robitaille. Reverse angle on our simulcast. Gretzky, Robitaille looks. Nichols is right there, and he just shovels it right in. No chance for Wendell Young. 7-2 Kings. Nichols with his 10th. Nichols with his 5th point of the evening.
And Gretzky with his 5th of the evening. He gets an assist on it, so Gretzky with 3 goals, 2 assists. Nichols with 2 goals and 3 assists. Now the puck sent down in deep toward Rudy, and he just scoops it up easily. They say Gretzky and Duchesne, but that can't be right. I don't know what they're looking at up here. It's Robitaille and Gretzky. Nichols from Robitaille and Gretzky. I know we're far away, but we are in the building here, and I don't know what the official score is looking at.
Well, another look. Gretzky down low to Luke Robitaille, and Robitaille just centers to Bernie Nichols, who comes in off the right circle and just redirects it in. So the Kings' power play now 2 of 3 tonight after struggling the last 7 games.
They've now corrected that assist here on the PA. It is, as we said, Robitaille and Gretzky with the assist, Nichols with the goal. 7 goals for the Kings. Across the line, here's Rob Brown for the Penguins. He sends it off on the left side for Jim Johnson. Johnson drives it down in deep in the corner. Here's Cullen with it. Cullen sends it behind the net to Rob Brown. Brown trying to come around the right side. Wrapped up. Oh, look out. No penalty there. The referee, Koharski, took a good long look at Fraser, but didn't blow the whistle. Kings come out with it. QB McDonough gives it on the right side to Kudelski. Kudelski, Penguin zone, and back to Jim Johnson to take him into the boards, and he wrapped him pretty good and knocked his helmet off. No penalty called there either, so I guess we're even. Here's Rob Brown up to center. 7-2 Kings, a team that has been struggling offensively lately, but they got it together here tonight. Here is a pass in front to Coffey. He can't get a good shot. It's deflected toward Rudy, and he falls on it right in the crease and covers up. 2:52 to go here in the second period. 7-2 Kings. Penguins 0-4-1 in their last 5, and they're trailing 7-2 to the Kings. The Kings getting just what they needed, some offense and playing some good defense tonight. Here's a shot from the point and just wide. tipped in front by Cullen into the right corner. The shot was by Coffey. Now Cullen against the right wing boards. Kings take it away. Up to center ice they come. Here's Nichols, 5 points tonight. Gretzky with it. He's got 5 tonight. Gretzky to Nichols in front, tipped away. Now Nichols fanned on it as it bounced off on the left side. Nichols and Dahlquist getting into it. And I think Nichols took a punch at Dahlquist.
I don't know. I think Dahlquist may be the first to go. Nichols was knocked down by Dahlquist. Then Dahlquist took a punch, I think, at Bernie. And I think he's going to get the penalty. Dahlquist. That's one of the few times the Penguins have done anything to a King forward in front.
Well, Bernie Nichols and Dahlquist are getting 2 minutes each for roughing, so they do both go into the penalty box. It was just to the right of the net. Nichols had just fanned on a shot. He got knocked down by Dahlquist. Nichols took a punch, then Dahlquist wrapped him up, and the penalties 2 each for roughing. So the faceoff will be outside the Penguin blue line. Tom Webster back behind the King bench. Has to be happy tonight. Kings with 7 goals and a big night for Nichols and Gretzky. Ready to go on the draw now as Webster looks on, hoping, of course, for this kind of performance Thursday night in Boston. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We are still in the second period here tonight. Here at center ice, Kings with it. It rolls away from Casper. Casper with it again. Sends it back into the Kings zone to Laidlaw. Laidlaw over to Tim Waters. Both teams are still at full strength. Now up to center ice. John Pinelli stops right in between the benches. Gets it to Casper. He sends it back into Waters. Waters over to Laidlaw. Laidlaw with it. Sides it off the boards out to center ice. Taken away there. It's fired by Coffey. Back down into Quinn. And Quinn had his pocket pick there. Kings took it away. Pass by Laidlaw up on the left side. And here is Casper. Casper comes down the middle. Right down the slot. In front. He shoots. He hit the goalpost. And the rebound covered up. Oh, the slot opened up as Casper went right down the middle and then hit the goalpost. And Steve can't believe he didn't put that one in. You talk about nobody picking up the body. Here's Casper across the blue line. The Penguins part like the Red Sea, and there's Casper with a backhander that hits the right post and comes right back underneath the goaltender Young. So Steve Casper with a great opportunity to get the Kings' 8th goal of the night. We mentioned before, look at the ice the Kings have to operate with. The Penguins are hitting no one tonight, at least when it counts. And Casper gets stopped by the goalpost. 1:48 to go here in the second period. 7-2 Kings. Again, we'll remind you can get Kings season seats, and we'll give you that information in a moment. We have people standing by to take your call. Face-off is to the left of goaltender Wendell Young, and here's Gilbert Delorme for the Penguins. Sends it around on the right side, and Andrew McBain moves it out to center ice. Now to the red line. Now to the King line. McBain drops it off to Randy Gillen at the blue line. He gets stopped. Here's Gretzky with it. Gretzky up the center. Gretzky at the red line. He pulls up there. He stick handles with it. Gretzky still with it. Left side. Drops it back up the middle. Shot over the net by Duchesne. Puck comes back on the right side toward John Pinelli. He gets help from Robitaille. Robitaille with it to the blue line to Duchesne. Right point. He shoots it, tipped wide by Robitaille. Here's Barry Beck. Left point. Beck drives it behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky with 3 goals and 2 assists up the middle of Robitaille, and it's shot wide. Taken now by Randy Gillen. Penguins come back 3-on-3. Here's McBain, right wing. King zone. McBain to Gillen. He tipped it wide to the left. Taken by Robitaille. 1 minute to go, second period. Up to center ice to Gretzky. He gives it on the right side now to Robitaille. Penguin zone. Robitaille, left side. Robitaille still with it at the left point. He's checked there as Gilbert Delorme stayed with him, and the Penguins are going to have it in their own zone. 45 seconds remaining here in the second period. Penguins with it. Flipped by Phil Bourque into the Kings zone, and Larry Robinson back to play it. Kings are up 7-2. Nick will be talking with Steve Duchesne of the Kings here at the end of this period. Kings bring it to center. Here is Duchesne. Duchesne flips it down into the Penguin zone with 27 seconds remaining here in this period. Now Jay Miller for the Kings. Miller in the left wing corner. He gives it to McSorley. He tried to jam it in, couldn't do it. Now in front to Allison, taken away from him by Bob Airy. Airy up to Brown. Brown for the Penguins with Lemieux behind him. He drops it to Lemieux. Right side, pass through in front, and a penalty coming up. Puck is touched by Robinson, and a penalty to the Kings. Holding is going to be the call. Allison was in deep, and he may go to the penalty box. 7 seconds remaining here in the second period, and Mike Allison heads to the penalty box. He gets 2 minutes for holding. Mario Lemieux had it on the right side, and he fed it through in front, and Allison just dragged down Bob Airy, number 12. Allison and Rudy were back in the net, and the puck was out, and Rudy was scrambling because he hadn't heard the whistle yet. As soon as the Kings touched it, Allison got called for holding at 19:53. 7 seconds left here. Power plays tonight. Kings 2 out of 3. Penguins only 1 out of 5 with a man advantage. Face-off will be to the left of Kelly Rudy. Kings up 7-2 nearing the end of the second period. Quinn ready on the face-off. Lemieux right in the slot. Quinn against Casper. Casper, good face-off man, wins the draw for the Kings to Laidlaw behind the net. Time running out. McDonough chips it to center ice, and that's the end of the second period, and the fans booing the Penguins as they leave the ice. Kelly Rudy leads for the King dressing room as the Kings in that second period get another goal from Gretzky, his third of the game, 46th career hat trick, his 9th of the year. It came on the power play, assisted by Peter Fraser and Bernie Nichols at 140. Then Steve Casper with his third of the year for the Kings, assisted by Barry. A 7-2 lead as the third period gets underway with Paul Coffey back in his own zone for Pittsburgh. Power play is on as Allison has a minute 45 left to serve in his penalty for the Kings. So the Penguins with a man advantage early here in the third. Here is Lemieux on the right side. Lemieux sends it out toward the blue line, gets it back from Bork, gives it back to Bork. Bork sends it over to Coffey. Coffey left side. He shoots and a glove save by Kelly Rudy, and he hangs on. Kelly Rudy stops it there. Rudy moves it himself up to Gretzky at the blue line. Kings have a 3-on-2 working. Here's Gretzky across the line with Nichols and Robitaille. Gretzky at the right point. He waits, passes left side, and Duchesne jumped in, but it went off his stick. Now on the left side, Kings try to hold it in. They do to Fraser. Fraser left side to Robitaille. Off his stick right in the slot. Gretzky in to try and get it. He can't. It's tipped away by Gillen. Gillen moves it up to center, but it's taken away now from McBain as the Kings have it again. And now it's overskated by Nichols and McBain. Now it comes back behind the King net and over to get it. Larry Robinson rolls away from him. Penguins with it now as Bob Airy sends it out to center ice. And right in front of the Penguin bench, taken by Jim Johnson. He drives it back into the King zone. Penguins are at full strength, still trailing 7-2 in the third period. Puck taken by the Kings in their own zone. Moved out to center ice by McDonough, and now the Penguins take it away. Here's Recchi in front. Here's pass and a shot score. Right in front to Kevin Stevens again, and Stevens puts this one into the net for his second of the night and sixth of the year. It's now Kings 7, Penguins 3.
I think the puck deflected off Laidlaw's stick as Stevens took the shot in the slot. Cullen in the middle to Recchi and then back, and the shot by Stevens goes off the blade of Laidlaw's stick and then just skips over the left shoulder of Kelly Rudy. Second angle. They move the puck well, the Penguins do, and the shot, and right there, it skips up high off the blade of Laidlaw's stick and
wins the draw into Paul Coffey. Penguins trying to get back in the game. They need 4 goals to tie it. Puck comes all the way down to the King zone, and we have another icing call against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, the line combination of Gretzky, Nichols, and Taylor certainly has worked tonight as the Penguins look a little somber on their bench. 4 for 40 on the power play last 8 games. A team that had 119 power play goals last year and entered tonight's game 19th in the league with a man advantage.
Face-off back in the Penguin zone to the right of Frank Pietrangelo again with 13:11 to go in the third period. Here's Paul Coffey. Coffey for the Penguins. Moves it up to Phil Bork on the left side. Bork to center ice. His pass taken away. Kings with it at center ice. Duchesne moves it over to Bernie Nichols. Nichols across the line. Nichols dropped it to Gretzky. Gretzky tried to come down the middle. He's checked there, and Taylor's shot goes wide to the right. Coffey with it. Lost it to Nichols in the corner. He's checked hard by Dahlquist. Kings with it. Up the middle. Duchesne shoots over the net. Puck taken by Gretzky. Gretzky in the right wing corner. Back to Duchesne to the right point. Duchesne chips it up in the air along the boards to Dave Taylor. Taylor tried to give it to Gretzky. Gretzky with it in front. Over to Nichols. He waits and then he fanned on it. He waited and then he didn't get his blade on it. Now to the blue line to Barry Beck. Beck shot. Save made by Pietrangelo.
And again, a King was all alone with time in front.
Now Duchesne tried to hold it in, but he couldn't do it, and the puck taken by Phil Bork. Kings up 7-3 with 12:20 to go in the third period. Penguins send it down to the King zone, back behind the net, and back to get it, Barry Beck. Here's Beck with it, comes around the left side. Beck up to the blue line, flips it off the boards to center ice, taken away by Rob Brown. Brown for the Penguins with Lemieux. Brown to Lemieux, right side. He's cut off there by Larry Robinson. Robinson stays with Lemieux with the blue line and pokes it off his stick out to center ice. Nice play by Robinson. He stayed right with Lemieux. Didn't give him room to operate as he came to the blue line. Now at center ice, here's Robitaille trying to get it to John Tonelli out of his reach. Penguins with it, pass into the Kings zone. Larry Robinson breaks it up. His pass to center, broken up by Airy. To Brown. Brown gave it right to Fraser. Fraser back to center. Here's Fraser for the Kings. Moves to the right side into the Penguin zone. Fraser shoots wide to the left. Rebound, John Tonelli, left wing corner. He sends it behind the net. Penguins intercept. 11 and a half minutes to go. We're in the third period. Now a long pass to Rob Brown. Cutting down the right side, breaking in front. He shoots, saves Kelly Rudy. He tips the rebound wide over to Larry Robinson. Still 7-3 Kings. Robinson moves it up the left side. Here's Tonelli giving it to Robitaille. Robitaille across the line. Would have been offside. Puck is played now by the Penguins. DeLorme. He gave it away. Here is Robitaille. Robitaille left side. Robitaille with Allison. Robitaille in deep. Goes behind the net. Brings it around in front and lost the puck. Now the Penguins back to center. Here is Lemieux. Left side. Throws it in front. We got a penalty to the Kings. Now the face-off in the King zone. Casper draws it back to Kelly Rudy. Rudy puts it off in the corner, but the Penguins hop on it there. Out to the blue line to Paul Coffey at the left point. Coffey with it. Penguins trailing 7-3. Now Cullen, left side, back to the blue line to Coffey. Coffey, top of the circle, sends it right side, gets it back again. Moves off to the right point. Coffey still with it. Down the right side. Coffey pass in front. Score! Stevens for the hat trick. Kevin Stevens with his third goal of the night. Kings lead 7-4.
And it's 7-4 Kings. So the Penguins, Stevens twice here in the third period, trying to make a game of it. And some hats on the ice. So hat trick for Stevens, a hat trick for Gretzky, 7-4 Kings.
Well, Kevin Stevens with his first NHL hat trick has given the fans something to cheer about here in Pittsburgh, and they haven't had that opportunity much tonight. 10:30 to go in the third period now, and it's 7-4. So look out. Don't go anywhere. Penguins get the next goal, and it's going to get serious. Puck taken by Gretzky at center. His pass knocked down, and now on the right side, here is Cullen into the Kings zone. He shoots, save Kelly Rudy. Cullen behind the net, gets checked hard there. Puck comes around the left side. Recchi holds it in, gives it to Stevens. Stevens pass, knocked down. Stevens with it again. In behind the net to Cullen. Cullen is checked there, rolls it out in front. Kings take it away. Here's Duchesne. Duchesne shovels it up the center, but out of the reach of Gretzky. Taken away by Dahlquist. He gives it to Recchi. Recchi bumps into his own teammate, Coffey, and then Taylor comes barreling in between them, and Taylor comes out with a puck. For shoots, tipped wide to the right. Taken by the Kings, right side, here's Robitaille. Behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky chases it into the corner. Gretzky with it, drops it off for Casper. Casper with it, left side. Casper checked by Airy. Casper still with it, behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky up the middle, shot, score! Duchesne, and the Kings lead 8-4. The Kings kept the pressure on. Gretzky with his 6th point of the night. He gave it to Duchesne, and Duchesne with his 2nd goal of the year. Kings lead at 8-4. So now the Kings take some of the pressure off there. The Pittsburgh Penguins had some momentum working. Had they scored another goal, they'd have been within 2, but now it's a 4-goal lead again for the Kings. Up to center ice, Penguins with it. Recchi down the left side, trying to get around Laidlaw. Laidlaw knocks him down. Recchi centers it toward the net, taken by Kevin Stevens. Pass up the middle, and a backhander tipped away. Cullen got knocked down in front, and then Recchi's shot was tipped away. Kings with it. Nice move by Jay Miller, left side. Miller to the red line, now to the Penguin line. Miller tried to drop it back to McSorley, but Cullen broke it up. 5:58 to go in the third period. Don't forget our post-game show. Now at center ice, puck driven off the skate of Peter Fraser into the Kings zone. Ian deep, now Troy Loney. He's checked by Fraser. Puck taken by the Kings, but they can't clear it. Dan Quinn takes it away. Quinn, left side. He gets a shot, and we've got a penalty coming up.
Well, the Penguins go on the power play for yet another time tonight. Peter Fraser gets 2 minutes for tripping Troy Loney right in front of Kelly Rudy. Penalty at 14:57. The Penguins on their 9th man advantage tonight.
Now the puck taken by Pittsburgh at the left point here in the Kings zone. Lemieux gets it back from Cullen, sends it off on the right side to Coffey, over to Cullen. He shoots, save Rudy, as the puck comes back out to center. And cleared back down. Take it back. I don't know if it got through to Rudy or not. Anyway, it stayed out of the net. 4:40 left to go here in the third period. Here is Phil Bourque. Boy, you get 9 chances with a man advantage, Nick. You got to start scoring more than 1 goal. Penguins 2 goals on the power play. Puck sent down into the Penguin zone now with 1:20 left to go on the power play for Pittsburgh. Here's Coffey, moves it up on the left side to Lemieux. Lemieux across the line. Lemieux still with it, down the left side, moves it back to Coffey at the left point. He sends it over to Bork. Here's Bork on the right side. He gives it to Cullen, back to Phil Bork at the blue line. Now back on the left point to Coffey. Coffey still with it, over to Bork. Bork sends it down on the right side, taken away by Larry Robinson, and he clears it.
Good anticipation. Bork had to move on his backhand. He was pressured up top by Nichols, and Robinson just cut across and picked it off.
Lemieux with 3 assists tonight. But Gretzky with 6 points for the Kings, 3 goals and 3 assists. Nichols with 5 points tonight. Puck is taken by Nichols, sends it up to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky. Nichols trying to jump up in the play. Gretzky right side. He shoots wide to the right, looking for his 4th of the night. Puck is taken now by Quinn. Here's Quinn for Pittsburgh down the right side. They have 28 seconds left to go in the power play. Penguins with it at the right point. Here's Jim Johnson, gives it to Lemieux. Lemieux lost it, got it back, gets it to Johnson, back to Lemieux. Mario Lemieux, right side, over in front. Rob Brown shoots, save Rudy right in front. And Brown can't believe he couldn't score on that. He had a lot of room on the left wing. Puck comes back out to center ice off the boards with 3:10 to go in the third period. Kings are up 8-4. Most goals the Kings have scored this season. Puck taken by the Penguins, back in their own zone. Jim Johnson over to Paul Coffey. Here's Coffey up the center. Coffey's pass from left side to Bob Airey. Airey sends it off on the right side, Kings zone. Both teams at full strength. Here's Paul Coffey. Coffey sends it wide of the net. Comes off the boards of left side to Mark Recchi. Recchi sends it behind the net now and in front. Pass by Airey, but didn't connect. And it's cleared by Allison of the Kings out to center ice. Jim Johnson chases it down into the Penguin zone. 2:35 left to go in the third period. 8-4 Kings. Johnson with it. His pass into the slot to Airey. Tipped away from him and out to center ice by Duchesne. Sent right back in by Gord Dineen of the Penguins. Back behind the net. Over to get it now. Kings within their own zone. Here is Barry Beck. Beck takes his time. Clears it out to center ice. 2:15 to go in the third. Nick will talk with the King star at the end of this game, our player of the game, and our post-game show. Also have highlights and the scores of other games in the NHL coming up right after our play-by-play. Here at center ice, Kings with it. Here's Barry Beck back in the Kings zone. Beck gives it to Duchesne. 1:53 left to go, third period. Duchesne cut off of the King line, gives it over to Barry Beck. Kings home of the Great Western Forum a week from tomorrow night against the Stanley Cup champion Calgary Flames. And you can get tickets every day starting at 10 a.m. at the Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Puck is back in the Penguin zone now. Penguins with it. They're going to go winless in their last 6. 5 losses and a tie. Here is Nichols for the Kings to Gretzky. Nichols trying to get down the middle. Gretzky with it. Penguin zone. Gretzky still with it. Gretzky to the right side. Gretzky's pass in front, and it goes off a skate. Gretzky on the right side falls over the skate of Dineen. Dineen picks it up now to Troy Loney. Loney trying to clear it. It comes to the blue line and out to center ice. 1:10 to go, third period. Kings tip it away. Here they come again. Nichols to Gretzky. Gretzky with room, left side. Gretzky shoots, and it's wide to the right. Rebound off the boards. Comes down to center ice. Kings with it again. 1 minute to go, third period. Here's Nichols. Nichols across the line. Nichols, top of the slot. Still stick handles with it. Puts it between the skates of Caulfield, but now it's broken up by Kite. Here's Jim Kite for Pittsburgh. Up to center ice. Kite with it. Comes across the blue line to the right side. Gives it to Kevin Stevens. Now over to Cullen. Cullen shoots it wide to the right. 40 seconds left to go, third period. Here's Dahlquist to the right point. Taken away. Kings with it. Up to the blue line. Here is Nichols over to Tonelli. Tonelli with Robitaille. 2-on-2. Tonelli to Robitaille and out of his reach on the left side. Nichols with it. Nichols against the left wing boards with 28 seconds to go in the third period. Puck is taken now by the Penguins. Here's Coffey with it. Coffey up to center ice. Coffey over to Stevens. Stevens across the line. Stevens now, and a shot by Recchi. Save on the shoulder of Kelly Rudy. Puck comes out to the right point to Dahlquist. He holds it in. 12 seconds left to go, third period. Fraser in the corner. Fraser trying to tie it up, and it is whistled dead in the right wing corner. 8 seconds to go here in the third period. Puck comes down to Paul Coffey at the right point. Kings take it away. That's going to do it. 1 second to go, and the game is over. Penguins outshoot the Kings 36-28, but the Kings get 8 goals here tonight, and Kelly Rudy with some big glove saves as the Kings win for the second time on this road trip. And a big night for Gretzky with 6 points tonight, 3 goals, 3 assists. Nichols 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. And a big night for the Kings as they win it here in the Civic Arena tonight, 8-4 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. In the third period, the Penguins got 2 goals by Kevin Stevens. He got his 6th of the year, assisted by Recchi and Cullen at 5:39. Then he got his first career hat trick, his 3rd goal.